Good morning and welcome to another week of Get Hooked on Strategy with me, LT. This is the weekly check-in where we are getting hooked on strategy and turning our strategy into a habit and not a chore. Just as any other exercise regime or diet plan, the better we can make this a habit, the easier it will be to get results. So first thing always is we do our Google Calendar check. And this is our annual planning calendar that tells us what we are supposed to do as far as our strategic planning goes and helps us meet all of those time horizons, which are daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and annually. And we'll see here this week. Let me, can't see what I'm looking at until I share it with you. So let me do screen sharing. Okay, so now you should be able to see my calendar that I'm looking at. And I can't believe we're at the end of April already and jumping into May. But we'll see, last week we had the risk review. So this was just a really quick review of the risks we have listed either in our list or the registry. And I took a quick look at mine and I did have one I wanted to add. And at this point, we aren't doing a complete sit down, time consuming evaluation of risks. We're just kind of checking them and seeing if anything new has popped up or any risky activities or indicators are happening. And so that should have been your homework for last week. This week we have coming up a challenges and advantage check. So the same thing we have earlier in the year, we did an actual listing of our challenges and advantages. And these are the things that we want to either leverage or work towards. So if it's an advantage, we want to leverage it. If it's a challenge, we want to work towards eliminating it. And so we just want to take a quick look at those and see if they're still the same. Again, kind of like the risk review, was there anything that we want to add? This is one of those ways that we make this a habit and not a chore, because if we wait a whole year to look at this, we might have to spend more time than we're going to have if we just every quarter take a look at it real quick. And something might happen that we weren't aware of if we wait a whole year. 4 or 5 months could have passed before we ever acknowledged that we had a new challenge to address. So that will be homework for this week, is to take a look at your challenges and advantages or create them if you don't have them. And we always have the quick transaction check, and that is just to help us with taxes and numbers, finances later, instead of waiting to do those months or quarters at a time. And then we have an in-depth data review. And so the reason that we have this is so I think it's, let me double check if this is a monthly task or, okay, it looks like a quarterly task. So the in-depth data review, and when you click on these, if you've emailed me and asked for access to this calendar, this is the information that you have. Each of the tasks kind of have a little bit of a description attached to them. So this is more than just a quick review. I want to take a look at the data that I've been entering and see if there are any trends showing, anything that I need to address, any goals that are not looking like they're going to meet what my expectation, my target is. And then also this works in perfect with this week's task that I've assigned to the check-in. I want to start looking at some productivity tools. I don't love the way that I'm tracking my numbers, and I love dashboards and visualization. So I want to also provide some value for people who are checking in as well. You probably don't have a whole lot of time or even maybe the knowledge or insights to check on these software. So I want to test out a whole bunch of the softwares that are available out there for us to use and see if I think that I would recommend them as a productivity tool as far as strategic planning goes. So I want to start this week with one called MicroStrategy. Let me jump over to their website. So MicroStrategy is one of many, many, many dashboards that are available. I've used a couple of different ones. The reason I'm starting with this one, quite frankly, is because they have a free desktop version, and that's appealing to me. So let me just kind of show you. They have solutions that are very big and probably wouldn't apply to someone like myself who's a sole proprietor, business consultant, maybe a small company. But I think having the free version makes it a potential worthwhile endeavor, because even if you are a small endeavor, small company, visualization of your data is not any less important than if you're a big company tracking lots of big things. So this would be great if you could get started in something that allows you to scale up. So if you are a small company intending to be a bigger company, you want to use the software that you're thinking forward. Is it going to suit your needs in the future? So let's just take a quick look at what it is, and then next week I will come back, hopefully having done my homework, and be able to tell you what I think of it and if I think it's an actual solution that can be implemented along with, and I'm looking specifically at strategic plan. If you're collecting data from manufacturing or you're collecting data from sales, this is definitely something that you could use, but it would be used in a different way than I'm going to be looking at. So when we look at the products, you'll see they have all kinds of advanced analytics, big data, stuff for distribution. You may have a company like that, and that is something, again, if you can incorporate this not only with your day-to-day operations dashboard, with your programmatic and performance evaluation, quality evaluation, if you can incorporate all of that, then that's perfect for you. So they also have mobile solutions, which is great, especially when we talk about productivity. And so I want to look at maybe what their tools are. And when we look here, things that I'm looking for productivity as far as strategic plan goes is things like automation, visualization, report development. Using any type of software like this is going to have a learning curve. It's going to be more time intensive in the beginning, but what we're looking for is something to help us be more productive in the long run. So what I'll be looking for is, can these things, monitoring, can these things help us once we have it set up to be more productive in our strategic plan? And then they also have under services, they've got some free learning portal, some courses. So that will be my homework for the week. I don't know necessarily that you want to. I think I'm planning to do this on your behalf, and you can see what my final report is, but I think I will plan to take at least this dashboarding course over the week, depending on if it's something that I can do in just 1 week. And then I'll report back and tell you what I think. So homework for you is more look at your strategic challenge and advantage like we talked about, and then also to maybe just do a Google search of dashboards and see if there's a different one that stands out to you, or one that, depending on your company, is a potential suit for you. And you feel free to email me and ask me to try one of these out for you, or ask questions about it if there's one that you see or someone's recommended. If your company's already using something like this, some dashboard, Tableau or Click Data, Click Smart Sheets. Smart Sheets is another one that I might look into in the future. It's a little bit more simplified and more Excel based. And so anyway, that will be the homework, and you'll see that what my homework is to report back to you. And with that, I'm going to wish you a happy and productive week, and we'll see you next week.